welcome to FarmStat. Before you get started using FarmStat, I'm going to introduce you to the program and take you on a quick tour of the program so that you can be familiar with FarmStat from the very first time that you use it. FarmStat is a web-based program designed to provide straightforward statistical analysis, particularly for agricultural experiments. Statistical analysis of data collected from agricultural experiments is important for determining whether or not treatments really result in differences in measured variables such as yield, emergence, pre-harvest stand counts, cover crop biomass, or anything else that might be important to you and your operation. Proper statistical analysis can give you confidence in making decisions about which practices to adopt in your operation or which treatments to investigate with further experimentation. Because FarmStat was designed particularly for agricultural experiments, FarmStat currently offers two of the most common agricultural experimental designs: randomized complete block design and completely randomized design. FarmStat provides analysis of variance, commonly referred to as ANOVA, as well as mean separations for data from these agricultural experimental designs. Conclusion statements are also offered to help make interpreting the statistical output even easier. FarmStat is provided to users free of charge as long as you register to use the program. Registering to use the program is important because it helps us, the team behind FarmStat, to better understand who is using the program, how they might be using the tool, and what additional features might be valuable to them. With that said, I'm now going to take you on a tour of the FarmStat program so that you're familiar with the program workflow when you begin to use the tool. The first page that FarmStat will display once you're into the program will offer you three options for getting started: enter a new dataset, paste from Excel, and upload existing dataset. Entering a new dataset should be used if you'd like to manually transfer data into the program, possibly data that has only been recorded on paper and has not yet been imported digitally. Pasting from Excel is really useful if you already have the data digitally and it's in a common format that can be opened in Excel, such as a CSV file or a text file or an XLS file. Uploading existing dataset is a useful option if you've already used or started to use FarmStat to analyze a dataset. To enter a new dataset, what you would first do is select the experimental design that the data was collected with. So in this case, we'll select a randomized complete block design. Then you'd specify the number of treatments, reps, and number of measured variables. Let's say in this experiment that I had 2 treatments, 3 reps, and measured 2 variables. After that, you'd want to specify your treatment names. So in this case, I would say rye cover crop. And the second treatment is cover crop mix. And then you would want to specify your variable names. So in this case, we'll just say above ground biomass and cover crop in content. Once all these parameters are entered, you would just click continue here to proceed to the next step. Now for paste from Excel, all that you would need to do is you'd open your data set in Excel. So here we'll download this RCBD Excel template, open that up, and you would copy your data set from there, such as this, copy, and then going back to your program, you would actually paste your data right there into the white box that is provided in FarmStat. To upload an existing data set, all that you need to do is you need to click the Choose File button, shown here, and then select your file in the file browser that FarmStat pulls up, and import the file to proceed with the analysis. Once you've imported your file or set your parameters for entering a new data set, the program will bring you to the next page, which allows you to enter or edit the title for your analysis, since there's already one in the box here when you upload an existing data set, and then choose the alpha level that you'd like to use for your analysis. So here we'll leave it as 0.1. It's also good to go through, even if you've imported from Excel or you have uploaded an existing data set, to verify the data that has been uploaded into the program within this box that shows each one of the treatments, the blocks, and your measured variable columns. Once these fields have been properly completed and your data has been verified, clicking Analyze will initiate the analysis procedure. FarmStat should return the entire statistical output for the data quickly. By default, the statistical output shown first will be for the first variable column. In this case, that column and that variable is yield. To switch the variable for which the statistical output is shown, toggle the tabs at the top of the output. So here we can toggle between net return and yield. The ANOVA table is shown first within the statistical output. By default, the ANOVA table that is shown is an abbreviated version with only the most critical values. If you'd like to see the full table output, simply click Show Details, and the entire ANOVA table will be shown. Below the ANOVA table and its critical values is the block mean table. This will only be included if you are analyzing a randomized complete block design. The treatment mean table will be shown below the block mean table. You will see letters next to treatment means. These letters are used to indicate statistically significant differences determined from your data. These differences are determined using a mean separation test procedure, of which FarmStat offers two: Tukey's HSD and Fisher's LSD. Tukey's HSD is used by default. To change to Fisher's LSD, simply use the selection bubble. Values important to each mean separation are displayed below the selection box. So here we're showing standard error and critical value for Tukey's HSD. Significance or conclusion statements are shown in the gray boxes with the most important words bolded. These statements are automatically generated conclusions from the analysis for each treatment comparison. They should help you to interpret the statistical output. And for example, in this top line, the 100 pounds of nitrogen following cover treatment resulted in a significantly higher yield than the 0N following cover treatment. Should allow you to make conclusions from these treatment means with the letters next to them without really having to know all the ins and outs of the statistical output. So once you're done reading the analysis, you have a few options. If you'd like to save the full analysis output for future reading and reference, clicking the Save PDF button will save a PDF file that includes some of the key parameters for the analysis, as well as the full statistical output and conclusion statements for each analyzed variable, as you can see in the PDF statement shown here. If you'd like to save a file of the input that you can open later in FarmStat to complete and read the analysis again, click the Save File button. What this will do is it'll save a .json file to the Downloads folder in your computer that you can open later using the Upload Existing Dataset functionality in FarmStat. Finally, if you'd like to save your input data, not the full output, as a CSV file for use in Excel or another statistical software, click the Export CSV button. This will save a CSV file to the Downloads folder on your computer. And that brings us to the end of the FarmStat program and to the end of our tour.
So with that, the tour of FarmStat is finished. I hope that FarmStat will be a valuable resource for you and that it enables you to be confident in using research and data to make sound decisions that benefit your operation. If you have questions about using FarmStat that were not covered in the video, they're likely answered in the FarmStat user guide. Should you not find the answer to your question in the FarmStat user guide, please contact us about your question so we can make sure that you're getting the most out of your FarmStat experience. To contact the FarmStat team, just click the Email Us button in the bottom right-hand corner of the screen while using FarmStat. Additional resources about on-farm research and using statistics to enable effective decision-making from on-farm research are available through the Nebraska On-Farm Research Network. To find these resources, go to cropwatch.unl.edu/onfarmresearch in your favorite internet browser. Thank you for watching and enjoy using FarmStat.